And when you take into stock the fact that outside of Kevin Durant, aging superstar, LeBron James, 40 years old, and Steph Curry, there's not a single NBA player more popular today than Kate.
The most dominant name in women's basketball has just received backing from a legend whose name is etched into the very fabric of Indiana basketball history. Larry Bird, the NBA icon, the face of the Celtics dynasty, and Indiana's favorite son, has just broken his silence on Caitlin Clark. And what he said: shocking, powerful, and game-changing. But it's not just Bird. Charles Barkley, Kevin Garnett, and even Caitlin's critics are now lining up in support. Why now? Why her? And what does this mean for the future of the WNBA?
Always had the ball in her hands. Everybody was playing off of her. She just commanded the whole game. I was like, who the hell is this? She is nice. It was like, oh, she's the best player in the country.
Caitlin Clark didn't just walk into the WNBA. She stormed in, rewriting rookie records, redefining fan engagement, and pulling in sold-out arenas at a pace never before seen in women's basketball. From dominating college courts to becoming a household name overnight, Clark's transition into the pro league was the spark that reignited the WNBA.
This is a phenomenon. Caitlin Clark is a phenomenon.
From Steph Curry to Kevin Durant, LeBron James to Luka Doncic, today's NBA elite are already fans. But now, the legends, the men who define the game, are weighing in. Kevin Garnett says she's the female Steph. Shaquille O'Neal? He called himself a former hater turned believer. And now, the most significant voice of all, Larry Bird.
Her range, her three-point shooting overall, her flair for testing her range every night and knowing that the other team's going to try to take it away. And she's fearless. No shot is a bad shot, and then when you can shoot it as well as she can, she just adds another element of surprise that you can't really game plan for because it's so kind of...
Larry Bird rarely speaks to the media, especially about current players. But when asked about Caitlin Clark in a recent closed-door Hall of Fame event in Indiana, Bird reportedly said, quote, "She plays the right way. She's smart, she's tough, and she's making Indiana basketball proud."
Caitlin Clark's average three-point attempt comes from an astounding 28 feet, 1.1 inches, outpacing even peak seasons from Trae Young, Damian Lillard, and Steph Curry. It's no surprise fans joke that you need to start guarding her the moment she steps into the gym. Her range is simply unmatched.
But not all the attention has been praise. Caitlin's popularity has come with controversy. From being targeted with hard fouls to being left off the Olympic roster, a decision that Kevin Garnett publicly called a disgrace. Even Shaq, a longtime Angel Reese supporter, now says the WNBA is failing to properly elevate Clark's talent.
The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in.
And then came Charles Barkley. The round mound of rebound didn't mince words. On Inside the NBA, he dropped the mic. Y'all out here hating on Caitlin Clark when she's bringing millions of fans to the game. That's straight jealousy. Period.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for her to be here. I think it brings a lot of excitement to the city, and a city with a lot of young talent already as it is, and adding her, she's one of the faces of women's basketball, and for her to be here and under the same roof, I think is really exciting for me, and I think a lot of people in our organization.
Caitlin Clark isn't just a WNBA rookie. She's become a symbol of pride for Indiana. And for Larry Bird, it's personal. Both products of small-town basketball with big-time dreams, their paths share a gritty, relentless spirit. Indiana hasn't seen this level of basketball fandom since Bird himself.
You've been courtside for almost all of Caitlin's games. Any big takeaways in all of this?
She's a great player, and I just like watching her play. I like watching all the girls play. They're getting a lot better as the season's went on. Leah had a great game the other day. Kelsey's been great. But I like going watching basketball. So as long as I'm in Indy and I'm not doing nothing, I'm going to go watch the game. It's always fun to do. So I love being able to go watch people games. The excitement in the city is awesome. It's cool when I bring people who, I brought a couple friends who haven't been to a WNBA game before, and they're like, go to the third level. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's what fever games are like now, So it's really cool to see the excitement around this.
Clark's snub from the Olympic roster has created a massive backlash, not just from fans, but from legends. With Kevin Garnett, Barkley, and now Bird rallying behind her, the message to USA Basketball is clear. Ignore Caitlin Clark at your peril.
Courtside for almost all of Caitlin's games. Any big takeaways and all of the...
She's a great player, and I just like watching her play. I like watching all the girls play. They're getting a lot better as the season's went on. Leah had a great game the other day. Kelsey's been great. But I like going and watching basketball. So as long as I'm in Indy and I'm not doing nothing, I'm going to go watch the game. It's always fun to do. So I love being able to go watch Fever games. The excitement in the city is awesome. It's cool when I bring people who, like, I brought a couple friends who haven't been to a WNBA game before, and they're like, "Well, it's to the third level." And I'm like, yeah, well, that's what Fever games are like now, So it's really cool to see the excitement around.
Caitlin Clark doesn't need validation. Her game speaks for itself. But when Larry Bird, a man who rarely praises, says you're doing Indiana proud, that's not just approval. That's a passing of the torch. And Caitlin, she's running with it.
Clark is coming. Some people think she's already arrived. I don't. I think she's going to be even better.
When a living legend like Larry Bird speaks, the sports world listens. But what happens when one of the greatest NBA players of all time comes out in full support of Caitlin Clark at a time when the WNBA world seems determined to humble her?
Why do you think people love Caitlin Clark, besides her skills?
She can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point. Steph Curry, a little kid. Like, Steph Curry, I love. You know why I love Steph Curry?
This isn't just about basketball. This is about legacy, politics, media power, and a rising star who's changing the game whether people like it or not.
I've never seen nobody do that on a consistent basis. There's a lot of girls in WNBA that have done it in spurts, but that game I'm watching y'all in the Final Four, I'm like, damn, like, and I was a hater because I'm down. She was like, she's not gonna hit that shot, and bam, like, damn. She's not gonna hit that shot, man. Like, if I say 10 times you're not gonna hit the shot and you hit the shot, that means you.
Larry Bird doesn't do media rounds. So when he went out of his way to say this, the world took notice.
If you ain't in the Steph Curry shape, that's how she...
It didn't stop with Bird. Suddenly, NBA royalty started to speak. Kevin Garnett, Charles Barkley, and Paul Pierce. None of them held back.
USA dropped the ball on this. We have a new wave coming in, and it's being denied. I think the WNBA, this is just my view, bro. They've established something and they built something, right? They got something. It's a new wave that is here. And it's got a major blockage on it, man. Listen, to everybody out here, bro, we're not fighting over the pot that's been established. The ideal is to grow the pot.
These aren't just compliments. They're warnings. Warnings to a league that seems stuck in its own gatekeeping.
Claim you want the women's game to grow, and then you keep the most popular girl in women's basketball off the team. How do you grow internationally and domestically if you don't put her on the U.S. team? It just makes the most sense. Sometimes you have to say, hey guys, this is bigger than the game.
Despite being the face of women's basketball, Caitlin Clark was left off Team USA for the 2024 Paris Olympics. The reason? Some insiders say it was intentional. Others call it political payback.
What she's done for the game the last couple of years. I mean, she is a shining star. And the thing I like about her, man, she doesn't say a word. Yeah, she's never said a word about anybody. She just shows up and does her job.
As Garnett said, sometimes you gotta say, it's bigger than the game. But clearly, to some, it isn't.
She was gonna have to worry about all this petty nonsense that's going on. These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, they cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they try.
Caitlin's arrival has shaken up the WNBA locker rooms. Jealousy? Resentment? Or just old school toughness? Reggie Miller has a different view.
You're playing at the highest level. You're playing in the WNBA. You're coming from college and you're going to the pro ranks, right? What did she expect was going to happen? Why are people so shocked, right? You're playing against grown women. The same thing happened to us as rookies, going against MJ. They're out there trying to embarrass you. It's nothing personal.
But this isn't just about sports. It's about culture, about gender, about what happens when a young woman threatens the status quo.
I absolutely love everything that Caitlin Clark stands for and what she has done for the women's.
As the Olympics approach without her and WNBA veterans continue to test her resolve, Caitlin Clark isn't folding. She's evolving.
Max looking, loops it to Bird, a runner. It's good! It's good! And the Celtics win it!
Martin looking. Here's Clark. She fires! And it goes!
Legends don't praise lightly. Larry Bird's support isn't just symbolic. It's generational. And if the league doesn't listen now, they'll regret it later. Do you agree with Larry Bird? Has Caitlin Clark already changed the game? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth WNBA breakdowns. We're just getting started. Caitlin Clark, the rising face of women's basketball, has now received a powerful endorsement from none other than NBA icon Larry Bird, one of the most respected and legendary figures in basketball history. In a rare and heartfelt statement, Bird revealed that he watched Caitlin Clark's college games as often as he followed his own alma mater, Indiana State, calling her performances fun to watch and comparing her impact to the game-changing moments of his own era. His public support adds to the growing list of NBA legends like Kevin Garnett, Charles Barkley, Paul Pierce, and Reggie Miller, who have all come forward to defend and admire Clark amid mounting criticism, Olympic exclusion, and unusually aggressive play targeting her in the WNBA. These legends have expressed outrage at how Clark is being treated, calling out the WNBA for poor decisions and warning that the league risks missing a golden opportunity to grow. Despite facing hostility on the court and being snubbed from the U.S. Olympic roster, Clark's performance continues to break viewership records and drive merchandise sales, making her not just a basketball star but a cultural force. As tensions rise between veterans and rookies, and debates rage over media favoritism and gender politics, Clark remains poised, professional, and focused, earning the admiration of fans and icons alike. With Larry Bird now publicly backing her, the message is clear. Caitlin Clark isn't just the future of women's basketball, she's a generational talent rewriting the game in real time.